Anna Miller slouched in seat 12C, her faded hoodie pulled tight over her head, blocking out the world. The red-eye from London to New York hummed at 36,000 feet, cutting through the night. In the business-class cabin, sharp-suited men typed furiously on laptops. Women in designer scarves swiped through phones, and a politician in the back nursed his bourbon like it was a lifeline. To them, Anna was invisible, a pale, scrawny figure in worn jeans and beat-up sneakers, her frayed laces barely holding together. Her cheap gas station earbuds hung loose, and her messy bun let stray hairs fall across her bare face. She looked like she'd stumbled into the wrong world, and the passengers' sidelong glances said as much. Her presence an offense to their polished lives. Across the aisle, a low chuckle spread, a mocking whisper about the homeless girl in first class. Anna didn't flinch, just sank deeper into her seat, eyes half closed, dozing against the window. Next to her in 12B, a 6-year-old named Lily colored a pony with scattered crayons, her unicorn backpack tucked under the seat. Her mom, Ellen, all sleek bob and pearl necklace, kept a tight smile, her old money vibe practically glowing. When Lily's water cup tipped, soaking Anna's sleeve, Ellen's sharp gasp cut through the hum of the cabin. Anna just waved it off, her voice soft but steady. "It's fine." Hours later, the intercom crackled, sharp and urgent. "Is there a pilot on board?" The cabin froze. Laptops snapped shut. Bourbon glasses clinked and heads swiveled. No one moved. Panic rippled through the air like a cold wind. Anna's eyes flicked open sharp and clear. She stood, her slight frame unfolding with quiet purpose, and said, "I flew F-18s. Take me to the cockpit." The cabin went dead silent. Every eye locked on her. Whispers of Night Viper 12 hissed through the plane, the call sign of a pilot long declared dead, now standing in their midst, ready to take the controls. Anna moved down the aisle, her scuffed sneakers silent on the carpet as the stunned cabin watched. The flight attendant, a wiry man with a clipped British accent, hesitated, then nodded, leading her toward the cockpit. Whispers trailed her like smoke. Night Viper 12, the one from the crash, as passengers craned their necks, laptops forgotten, bourbon untouched. The politician in the back set his glass down, eyes narrowing like he was piecing together a puzzle. Ellen clutched Lily's hand, her pearl necklace glinting under the cabin lights, while Lily, oblivious, kept coloring her pony. Inside the cockpit, the scene was grim. The captain slumped in his seat, pale and unresponsive, a thin sheen of sweat on his forehead. The co-pilot, a young guy with shaky hands, was fighting to keep the plane steady, his voice cracking over the radio. "Mayday, mayday, we've got a medical emergency up here." Anna didn't waste time. She slid into the captain's seat, her hands moving over the controls with a calm that felt like muscle memory. "I've got this," she said, her voice low but firm, like she'd never left the cockpit of an F-18. The co-pilot stared, mouth half open, but handed over control. Outside, the cabin buzzed with tension. The businessman in 8A, still gripping his laptop, muttered about delays to his meeting in Manhattan. The woman in the silk scarf scrolled X, her fingers flying as she posted, "Some girl in a hoodie just walked into the cockpit, says she's a pilot, Night Viper 12. The hashtag was already trending. Snippets of Anna's past surfacing, rumors of a classified mission, a jet lost over the Pacific, a pilot presumed dead. Nobody knew the truth, but the cabin was alive with speculation. Anna didn't hear it. Her focus was razor sharp, hands steady on the yoke, eyes scanning the instruments. The plane was stable, but the captain needed help, and they were still hours from JFK. She barked orders to the co-pilot, check vitals, get the med kit, while adjusting their heading, her voice cutting through the static like she was born for this. Back in the cabin, Lily looked up from her coloring, tugging Ellen's sleeve. "Is the hoodie lady gonna save us?" Ellen didn't answer, her tight smile faltering. The plane droned on through the night, a fragile metal tube hurtling toward New York, with a ghost from a forgotten mission holding it together. As the night wore on, the plane's engines hummed a steady rhythm, but the tension inside was thick enough to cut with a knife. Anna kept her eyes glued to the horizon display, her hands light on the controls, compensating for a crosswind that had picked up over the Atlantic. The co-pilot, Mike, a fresh-faced kid from Ohio, who'd only been flying commercial for 2 years, had stabilized the captain with oxygen and a a shot from the med kit, but the old man's pulse was weak, his breathing shallow. "He's hanging in there," Mike muttered, wiping sweat from his brow. "But we need to get him on the ground, fast." Anna nodded, her voice calm over the headset as she radioed air traffic control at JFK. "This is Flight 217, declaring medical emergency, requesting priority landing on runway 4L. We've got a qualified pilot at the helm, former Navy, call sign Night Viper 12. The controller's response crackled back, a mix of surprise and efficiency, vectoring them in with a clear path. Down in the cabin, the buzz had shifted from panic to uneasy quiet. The businessman refreshed his stock app obsessively, muttering about market opens in Asia. Ellen hugged Lily close, the little girl's crayons forgotten, as she whispered, "Mommy, is the plane gonna crash?" Ellen forced a smile. "No, sweetie, the lady in the hoodie. She's a hero." The politician, a silver-haired senator from Texas named Harlan Reed, wasn't buying the calm. He flagged down the flight attendant, his bourbon breath heavy. "Who the hell is she, Night Viper? Sounds like some ghost story." The attendant shrugged, eyes wide. "All I know is she's up there flying us home." Reed pulled out his phone, satellite mode kicking in, and started digging. Old news clips from a decade back. A Navy F-18 vanishing during a training op off San Diego. Pilot Anna Miller ejected, but body never recovered. Presumed lost at sea. Declared dead after months of searches. Reed's eyes narrowed. If this was her, the media storm waiting on the tarmac would be biblical. Up front, Anna felt the ghosts stirring, the roar of afterburners, the G-forces pinning her during dogfights, the night she'd punched out over crashing waves, surviving on a raft for days before a Black Ops team pulled her out, classified, buried. She'd walked away from it all, faded into obscurity, scraping by on odd jobs and cheap flights. But now, here she was, back in the fight. The descent began, the plane banking gently toward the glowing sprawl of New York below. Lights twinkled like stars fallen to earth. Times Square's neon pulse, the Empire State's steady beam. Mike called out altitudes, his voice steadier now, feeding her data as she flared for landing. The wheels kissed the runway with a soft screech, reverse thrusters roaring as the plane slowed. Cheers erupted from the cabin, muffled applause breaking the spell. Paramedics swarmed the jetway as soon as they taxied to the gate, wheeling the captain out on a stretcher. Anna powered down the systems, unbuckled, and stepped back into the aisle. The passengers stared, a sea of wide eyes and half smiles. Lily waved her pony drawing. "Thank you, hoodie lady." Anna cracked a faint grin, the first real one in hours. But outside, through the windows, flashes popped. News vans, reporters shouting, phones held high. The hashtag Night Viper 12 was exploding, her past unraveling in real time. She pulled her hood up, but it was too late. The shadow had stepped into the light. As the jetway door hissed open, a wave of chaos crashed in. Reporters shoving mics forward, camera flashes blinding like paparazzi fireworks, voices shouting over each other. "Anna Miller, is it true you faked your death? Night Viper 12, hero or hoax?" Anna froze in the doorway, her hood doing nothing against the glare. Security pushed through the crowd, forming a loose barrier, but the damage was done. Phones captured every angle, live streams beaming her face to millions. The passengers filed out behind her, some clapping her on the back, others whispering, stealing glances like she was a zoo exhibit. Ellen scooped up Lily, the girl's pony drawing clutched in her tiny fist, and paused beside Anna. "Thank you," Ellen said, her pearl necklace catching the terminal lights. "For real, you saved us all." Lily thrust the drawing forward, a crayon scribble of a plane with a hooded figure at the controls, stars and hearts exploding around it. "For you, hero lady." Anna took it, folding it carefully into her pocket, her voice barely above a whisper. "Thanks, kid." The moment hung there, sweet amid the storm, before Ellen hurried off toward baggage claim, dodging the media scrum. Senator Reed lingered at the gate, his silver hair slicked back, phone pressed to his ear. "Get me everything on her. Navy records, the crash, all of it. This could be gold." He eyed Anna like a campaign prop, but she slipped past, head down, weaving through the throng. Outside JFK, the August night was muggy, the air thick with jet fuel and New York hustle. Cabs honked, travelers rushed, but the reporters tailed her like hounds. One bold one, a guy from CNN with a perfect haircut, thrust a mic in her face. "Ms. Miller, why hide for 10 years? Was it a cover-up?" Anna stopped, her scuffed sneakers planted on the curb. For the first time, she looked up, her eyes sharp as a fighter jet's lock-on. "I didn't hide. I survived. And tonight, I just did what needed doing." The crowd hushed, phones capturing the quote that would go viral by morning. She hailed a yellow cab, sliding into the back seat as the door slammed on the frenzy. "Manhattan, cheapest motel you know," she told the driver, a grizzled guy with a Yankees cap. He glanced in the rear view, recognition dawning. "Hey, ain't you that pilot lady? Saw it on my feed. Number sign Night Viper 12's blowing up." She sank into the worn vinyl, the city lights streaking by, billboards for Broadway shows, Times Square's electric glow, the Empire State Building standing sentinel. Her phone buzzed nonstop, notifications from old Navy buddies, families she hadn't spoken to in years, even a text from an unknown number. "We need to talk." Black Ops command. The past wasn't just unraveling, it was clawing back. But as the cab rattled over the bridge, Anna unfolded Lily's drawing, a small smile cracking her face. Maybe stepping into the light wasn't all bad. The red eye was over, but her flight was just beginning. The cab weaved through Manhattan's midnight gridlock, horns blaring like impatient jazz as Anna scrolled her phone's endless notifications. Old squadron mates from Pensacola, guys she'd dogfighted with over the Gulf, texted in caps, "Holy shit, Viper, you're alive." Her sister in Chicago, the one she'd ghosted after the funeral, sent a tearful emoji storm, "Call me." Now even her ex, the SEAL who'd proposed right before the crash, popped up, "Knew you were too tough to die? Beers on me?" But the Black Ops text lingered like a shadow, unsigned but unmistakable. She pocketed the phone, staring out at the Hudson's dark ripple under the bridges. The driver dropped her at a no-frills motel off Times Square, the kind with neon signs flickering vacancy and rooms that smelled like stale coffee and regret. $20 tip if you forget you saw me," she said, sliding him cash. He grinned under his Yankees cap. "Lady, you're already a legend." Inside room 207, she bolted the door, flipped on the ancient TV. CNN was all over it. "Miracle on Flight 217. Dead pilot rises to save the day." Grainy phone footage from the cabin looped, her hoodie-framed face pixelated but unmistakable. Experts debated. Navy cover-up, PTSD survivor. The Chiron screamed number Night Viper 12 trends worldwide. Who is Anna Miller? She crashed on the lumpy bed, Lily's drawing on the nightstand like a talisman, but sleep dodged her like enemy radar. By dawn, the motel phone rang. Front desk, apologetic. "Ma'am, there's a crowd outside. Reporters, fans, even some suits in black SUVs." Anna peered through the curtains. News vans idling, autograph seekers waving signs. Viper lives, and those unmarked vehicles that screamed government. Time to move. She grabbed her backpack, spare jeans, a toothbrush, dog tags buried at the bottom, and slipped out the fire escape, blending into the morning rush of suits and tourists. Downtown, she ducked into a diner, the kind with vinyl booths and bottomless coffee, ordering black with eggs over easy. The waitress, a tough Brooklyn gal with tattoos peeking from her sleeves, recognized her instantly. "On the house, hero. Saw you on the news. Badass." Anna nodded thanks, but her mind raced. The Black Ops text buzzed again. Extraction at 0800 Central Park, Sheep Meadow. She deleted it, but the pull was there. The life she'd escaped, classified missions over hostile skies, the adrenaline that made civilian life feel like slow motion. Outside, the city pulsed. Yellow cabs surging, steam rising from grates, the Freedom Tower gleaming against the blue. But the media hounds were closing in, phones pinging her location via some leaked app. Senator Reid's face flashed on a Times Square billboard. His interview clip, "This woman is an American hero. We need answers from the Navy. Why hide her?" Politics, always sniffing for votes. Anna hailed another cab, heading uptown. Central Park loomed green and vast. Joggers pounding paths, tourists snapping selfies. Sheep Meadow was empty save for a lone black helicopter, rotors idling. A figure in tactical gear waved her over. Familiar face, her old handler, Colonel Vance. "Viper, good to see you breathing." She climbed aboard, the door sealing shut as they lifted off over the skyline. "The crash was buried for a reason," he said, handing her a dossier. "But now, the world's watching. We need you back." Below, New York shrank. The Statue of Liberty, a tiny torchbearer. The red eyes ghosts fading. Anna gripped Lily's drawing, the crayon plane soaring free. Maybe it was time to fly again on her terms. The chopper banked east, toward whatever storm came next. The chopper skimmed over the Atlantic, the Manhattan skyline fading into a hazy memory as Colonel Vance briefed her from the jump seat. "The world's changed since you went dark, Viper. Drones, cyber threats, ops that make your old runs look like training wheels." He slid a tablet her way, screens glowing with redacted files, missions in hot zones from Syria to the South China Sea. Anna scanned them, her fingers tracing satellite maps of enemy airspace, the familiar itch of adrenaline stirring. But Lily's crayon drawing peeked from her pocket, a reminder of the civilian chaos she'd just saved. The little girl who'd seen a hero in a hoodie. They touched down at a nondescript airstrip in Virginia, chain-link fences topped with razor wire, hangars humming with activity under the morning sun. Black SUVs waited, engines idling like predators. Vance led her to a bunker briefing room, walls lined with screens flashing global hotspots, Ukraine's front lines, Taiwan's strait tensions, a blinking alert over the Persian Gulf. A team of brass waited, admirals in crisp whites, spooks in suits, all eyes on her like she was the missing puzzle piece. "Miller," the lead admiral boomed, a Texan with a mustache like a broom. "Your country's calling. That red-eye stunt proved you're still the best stick we've got." Anna crossed her arms, her scuffed sneakers planted on the polished floor. "I walked away for a reason. Crash wasn't just bad luck, it was a setup. Friendly fire they buried." Murmurs rippled. Vance shot her a warning look, but the admiral leaned in. "We know, and we're cleaning house. Join us and you'll fly the new birds, F-35s with AI assists, stealth that ghosts radar. One mission, Viper, take down a rogue arms dealer fueling cartels south of the border. In and out, then you're free. Pension, new ID, whatever you want." She hesitated, the room's hum of servers and coffee machines filling the silence. Outside, through a slit window, she caught the roar of a jet taking off, freedom on wings, the pull of the sky she'd missed in her years of scraping by in dive bars and temp gigs. Her phone buzzed again, CNN alerts on number Night Viper 12, fan art flooding socials, even a GoFundMe for America's hidden hero. Senator Reid was on Fox, pushing for hearings. We owe her the truth and a medal. The spotlight burned, but maybe it was her shield now. By noon, she was suited up in a flight suit, the fabric crisp against her skin, dog tags clinking as she climbed into the F-35 simulator. Controls felt like old friends, throttles responding to her touch as virtual bogies lit up the HUD. Vance watched from the console. "Welcome back, Night Viper." The sim run was flawless. Evasive rolls, missile locks, a simulated splash over the Gulf of Mexico. As the canopy popped, Anna stepped out, sweat slick but alive with purpose. The real op loomed at dusk, wheels up from Andrews, target a yacht off Cancun packed with narco hardware. The red-eye had been a wake-up call. Now she was wide awake, ready to soar into whatever storm brewed next. As dusk painted the Virginia sky in bruised purples and oranges, Anna strapped into the real F-35 at Andrews Air Force Base, the cockpit enveloping her like a high-tech cocoon. The jet's engines whined to life, a low growl building to a thunderous roar as she taxied to the runway. Night Viper 12 cleared for takeoff. Tower control crackled in her helmet. She pushed the throttles forward, the afterburners kicking in with a jolt that pressed her into the seat. G-forces familiar as an old lover. The runway blurred, then fell away. The plane climbing steep into the twilight, stars winking above as she banked south toward the Gulf. The flight was a ghost run, stealth mode engaged, radar signature a whisper, AI systems humming suggestions in her shud like a digital wingman. Below, the eastern seaboard scrolled by, D.C.'s monuments glowing, then the Carolinas dark dark forests, giving way to Florida's glittering coast. Vance's voice piped in from Mission Control. Target confirmed. Yacht El Diablo, 20 miles off Cancun. Intel shows heavy arms cache, stingers, RPGs, headed for Sinaloa cartel. Surgical strike disabled, don't destroy. SEAL team on standby for boarding. Anna acknowledged with a crisp, Roger, her focus laser sharp, scanning for threats. No bogeys on radar, but the narcos had drones now, cheap and deadly. Hours blurred into the ops rhythm, the F-35 slicing through humid air over the Yucatan. Moonlight silvered the waves as the yacht came into view, a sleek 200-footer, lights blazing like a floating casino, guards patrolling the decks with AKs slung low. Anna dropped altitude, the jet's belly skimming 500 feet, locking on with precision-guided munitions. Fox 3, she murmured, releasing a pair of AGM-154s, joint standoff weapons streaking silent toward the target. Explosions bloomed, controlled and bright, shredding the engines and comms array without sinking the hull. Chaos erupted below, shouts, spotlights sweeping the sky, but she was already pulling up, invisible in the night. Back at base by dawn, the debrief was quick. Mission success. Cartel boss in cuffs, arms seized. The admiral slapped her back. One and done, Viper. Pension's yours. But as she peeled off the flight suit, her phone lit up with more madness. Number Night Viper 12 had spawned memes, a Netflix doc pitch, even a White House tweet praising unsung heroes. Senator Reid was milking it on Capitol Hill, demanding declassification hearings. Anna pocketed Lily's drawing, now creased but cherished, and stepped into the August heat. Free, maybe, but the sky called louder than ever, and with the world watching, her next flight might just be her own. Anna stepped out of the hangar into the Virginia dawn, the air heavy with jet fuel and the distant buzz of cicadas. Her flight suit was swapped for her old hoodie and jeans, the dog tags tucked back into her backpack, but the weight of the mission clung to her. The F-35's roar still echoed in her bones, a reminder of the life she'd tried to bury. Vance caught up as she headed for the base gate, his boots crunching gravel. "You're really walking away again, Viper? We could use you. New threats, new skies." She didn't break stride. "Told you, Colonel. One and done. I'm not your ghost anymore."